Hey everyone, welcome to the Piney Podcast. My name is Tony D. Okay, let's get some business out of the way. Pineys number 2. I know I said it would come out today. Just waiting on the cover. It's just about done. Vig had to do some little tweaks on it. Might not be out for the next day or two. So I will, of course, update you. In the meantime, let me address one issue some people may be having, a little confusion. If you wish to download an ebook, whether it's the Pineys or Wokistan or anything else, what you have to do first in your device is download the Kindle Reader. And that works for the phone, iPad, PC, Mac, works for just about anything. So you download that first, and then it'll allow you to buy the book. You can't buy the book without the app in your device. So that confused some people. They went to buy Joan. I don't know what she's on about today. Anyhow, some people got confused. They couldn't buy one of the books, and they were like, oh my God, what is happening? You can also become a member of Kindle Unlimited, and you can read my books and a bunch of other books for a monthly fee. So if you read a lot, it's a good deal, especially early on. I think it was like $6. I got it for 6 months. That's a sweet deal. Anyhow, getting into some Piney stuff, if Joan is done her objections. Today we're going to talk about one of the themes of the second Pineys book, which are witches. I read about witches. Now, a lot of you have read the Red Jersey Devil book. You probably read it in middle school or grammar school even. I did a book report on it because it was the shortest book in the library. But there's also another book called Barrens, Legends and Lores. It's by William I don't know how to pronounce that. McMahon, Lilli Mahon. And this goes in, it has a Jersey Devil in it, but it goes into some of the other lore around the Pines. A little lesser known stuff. A few of them are witches. One of them is Peggy Clevenger. Peggy was a witch. She could shape change into a rabbit, into a lizard. She also had a bag of gold for some reason. And eventually, I used that folk tale. Here's Joan calming down. Are we calm? Are we calm? Eventually, Peggy, we used her for Jersey Devil. I guess it was 11 and 12. I think she's introduced at the end of 10. Another character from that same book that we based on it was Jerry Mono. And Jerry was a warlock. He had a pair of magic axes that could fly and chop up wood for him. He could take off his own head and give himself a haircut. So these sorts of characters live in the Pine Barrens in these folk tales. And the witchcraft that these tales come out of tend to be the classic versions of witchcraft. They're connected to Satan and the devil, and they're always causing mischief or evil. Not so much the buy your soul kind of evil, more like just a lot of mischief and just a lot of weird stuff. And you have to avoid them because they're always trying to get you in some way. We turned Peggy Clevenger in the Jersey Devil comic book into Peg Misery because Peggy Clevenger lived near Mount Misery. And so we had Peg Misery have on her knuckles Mount Misery tattooed there. Born in Mount Misery, born to make misery was the line in the comic. So if you want to check out Jersey Devil 11 and 12, I still have those on sale. And speaking of on sale, I will be at the Piccadilly. I think I told you this already, but I'll be at the Lilli Inn on Route 206 in the Pines, talking about the Pineys, and I'll have Jersey Devil comics and my other stuff too. So if you want to come down for that, you want to get a copy of Jersey Devil 11 and 12, that's the perfect time. But in the Pineys number 2, we go into the witches, and so it's a whole witch book about the Hemingway Galloway's mom, who's a witch, and the sort of rules of witches and how they work in the world of the Pineys. And it's not, again, just so you know, it's like it's less folktale and more sort of a fantastic version of witches, if you will. But they're definitely going to be a factor in the novella series from here on in, because, you know, you always need a lot of factions, right? That makes it cool when you're building the world. You have different factions. You're not quite sure where they are. So witches are like, you know, they're kind of evil, but they also kind of are not sometimes. Or they're kind of neutral. You know, they got their own thing going. They've got, you know, some of them are evil, some of them are good. In any organization, right? Even if you have an evil organization, you're going to have a minority of good guys. And if you have a good organization, you're going to have a minority of evil guys. So that's the way I look at it. So anyhow, that's the Piney podcast. Nothing really much going on in the Pine Barrens these days. There's talk of that pipeline being killed. Doesn't look like it's going to happen now. There's going to be this pipeline through the Pine Barrens. Beyond that, there hasn't been, I don't think there's been any fires or, you know, major crimes or anything like that. So all is quiet in the Pines this time of year. There's definitely no fires because the weather has turned. It's been raining and it's damp and wet and cold again. So it's nice. The Halloween season is one of my favorites, obviously, because of Jersey Devil and my other works. A lot of Halloween-y type stuff. So get your candy, Pineys. Halloween is coming. And thanks for tuning in to the Piney podcast. We'll see you next time.